Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, today we are from Group 6. We will present the results of our reports with the title Structural Syntax Analysis of Donald Trump's Biography Text published by the White House government. So, for the first, I will introduce our member first. The first member is Lidya Fransisca BR Gultom. The second one is Ratu Anandya Urzhy. The third one is Resa Wahyuni. And the last one is Revi Regita. Okay, before we move to the introduction part, I will explain about the abstract of our study. So this study analyzed the syntactic structure of Donald Trump's biographical text. We use three diagrams to describe and display the structure of syntax and phrase structure rules. This text, published by the White House government, we choose the Donald Trump's biography text because it's an academic text that provides a lot of information with many kinds of constituents that can help to learn about syntactical structure. So the formulations of the problem on this report is, what are the constituents structuring the sentence found in the Donald Trump's biography text? This research, classified as the descriptive quantitative method research after analyzing the data, we found 23 syntactic patterns in the Donald Trump's biography text as follows: 2 patterns of sentence, 8 patterns of noun phrase, 7 patterns of verb phrase, 1 pattern of prepositional phrase, 2 patterns of adjectival phrase, 3 patterns of adverbial phrase, and 1 pattern of coordinate phrase. Okay, now we move to the introduction part. The introduction part will explain by Resa Wahyuni. Resa Wahyuni, the time is yours.
Okay, first I would like to say thanks to the moderator for giving me a time and chance to talk about our research results. Well, there is the background of our study. First, as you guys know, every language has its way to combine words to become phrase, clause, and sentence. And syntax is focus on the ways in which words are placed and combined in one sentence. And as an English department student, learning syntax is a fundamental necessity, which will be a guidance for us as the student to understand a literal source in an explicit and in simple way. Well, tree diagram is one of popular method of synthetic analysis. Tree diagram is a sentence analysis by using internal hierarchical structure of sentence as generated by set of rules. The researchers chose this Donald Trump's biography text that published by the White House government to be analyzed syntactically. This is because the researchers want to know the structure of this text, this biography text, and also it is because this text is an academic text that provide a lot of information along with many type of sentence and constituents. And it is this text also relevant for all age. Well, next. Then the second, there's a statement of problem. Based on the background that I've told you guys before, the researchers want to focus on this following question. We want to know what are the constituents structuring the sentence that we can find in the Donald Trump biography text. And next. The third is the significance of study. The result of this research is expected by the researcher to give contribution as follows. First, the researchers want to give information and additional source about syntax field, especially in analyzing syntactical pattern of sentence that using tree diagrams. And for and for the researchers, these results will be a final project for the end of semester assessment. Next. Well, then there is a method, and in this study, the researchers use the descriptive quantitative method. Well, after finding the data source of study about Donald Trump's biography on the internet, but that used published by the White House government, the researchers collecting the data that only focus on each sentence. And after that, the researchers analyze the sentence by using the three diagrams. And then next we group the results into charts and tables and then compare it with the previous studies. And finally, the researchers draw the conclusion based on the result that discussed in the study. Okay, next. Oh, well, maybe that's all for me, and I'll give it back to moderator.
Okay, thank you, Resa, for your explanation. For the next part is the result of our study, of our report, will be explained by Ratu Anandya Urzhy. Ratu Anandya Urzhy, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, moderator. First, I want to tell you that this is the Donald Trump's biography text that we have been analyzed. The bold sentence is the sentences that we're going to explain in this PowerPoint, in this presentation, in three diagram. Before we jump to the results and discussions and conclusion, this is the research questions that we have to answer following what types of phrases are used in the text. If the text has any NP, VP, PP, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, XP, what is the constructions? Among the phrases, which phrases occurs the most and the least? Among the vocabularies, which constituent occurs the most and the least? Does the text have any complement clause? Does the text also have any coordinate sentence? Which level of structure does the text have? If the text has any deep structure or surface structure, what the transformational rule can be done to create its surface structure or deep structure. First sentence that we have analyzed to three diagram is Donald John Trump was born in Queens, New York on June 14, 1946. This is the Pierce Rules lexicon, and there's inflectional transformation. And the sentence below, he was born in Queens, New York on June 14, 1946 is personal pronoun transformational that could be done to its sentence. So he is referred to Donald John Trump. Next sentence is, his first of many books was The Art of Deal, published in 1984. This is the Pierce Rules and Lexicon from the sentence. Next, this is the longest sentence that we analyze in the text. He was drawn to real estate and constructions, and he took over his father's firm. There's inflectional transformation. This is Pierce Rules, lexicon, and the sentences above. Trump was drawn to real estate and construction, and as a young man, he took over his father's firm, renaming it Trump Organization. So the transformational rule happened in the sentence is personal pronoun transformation. So he revolved to Trump. Trump is revert to he. And then Trump was drawn to real estate and construction, and as a young man, he took his father's firm over, renaming it the Trump Organization. So the transformation rule done in this sentence is particle movement transformation. I want to explain why we not put renaming it the Trump Organization in three diagram, because we couldn't analyze renaming it the Trump Organization based on the material that we have learned. So we just analyze the sentence that we can analyze. Next, the results from the text that we have analyzed. This is the type of noun phrase that we found in the text: verb phrase, prepositional phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, and coordinate phrase. Here's the results, another results from we made a chart. to show the number of phrases. So from this chart, we can conclude that noun-phrase is phrase that occurs the most, and coordinate phrase that occurs the least. Noun-phrase occurs 35 times, and coordinate phrase occurs three times in the text that we have analyzed. Next chart is the number of constituents. So from this chart, we can conclude that noun is constituent that occurs the most. It occurs 28 times. And then possessive noun or post that occurs the least. Post occurs just one time in the text that we have analyzed. Next, this table is consist of sentences that have deep structure and superstructure, and this the list of transformational rule that could be done in the sentences that we have analyzed. This is the PS rules for the whole sentence that we have analyzed. So NP noun phrase is consists of determiner, adjective phrase, noun, prepositional phrase, and personal pronoun. Verb phrase consists of auxiliary, verb, adverb phrase, adjective phrase, noun phrase, prepositional phrase, and then verb link, noun phrase, adjective phrase, and prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrase consists of preposition and noun phrase. Adjective phrase consists of adjective and noun. Adverb phrase consists of adverb and prepositional phrase. Coordinate phrase is the construction of noun phrase, conjunction coordinate, and noun phrase. That's all from me. I give it back to moderator.
Okay, thank you, Ratu, Anandya, Urzhy, for explaining the result part. And for the discussion and conclusion part will be delivered by Sri Revi Regita. Sri Revi Regita, time is yours.
Okay, thanks to moderator for the time. So I'm Sri Regita. I want to explain you about the discussion and then conclusion. So after we analyze the text about Donald Trump's biography text, we found that there are 8 different construction for noun phrase, 7 different construction for verb phrase, 1 construction for prepositional phrase, 2 different construction for adjective phrase, 3 different construction for adverb phrase, and then 1 construction for coordinate phrase. The data obtained is different from previous study conducted by Alvini Putri in 2016, obtained the following results. 1 construction of noun phrase, 3 construction for verb phrase, 2 construction of adjective phrase, and 1 construction for prepositional phrase. So the constituents appear the most is noun, as many as 28, and this is supported by previous finding in 2016 that the constituent that appears the most is noun, as many as 67, and the least constituent is possessive noun, and this is also supported by previous research that the constituent that appears the least is possessive noun. The text has coordinate sentences. The coordinate conjunction used in the Donald Trump's biography is and. It is different from previous study in 2060. The study found coordinate conjunction and or. The text has a deep structure sentence that is transformable. Some of the sentence could use particle movement transformation or TPRT to create the surface structure. The text also has a surface structure sentence that is transformable. Some of the sentence could use adverbial phrase, personal pronoun transformation or T-pro-P, and adverbial phrase movement transformation or T adverb phrase. From our research, we can get a conclusion is the researchers found 8 different construction for noun phrase, 7 different construction for verb phrase, 1 construction for prepositional phrase, two different construction for adjective phrase, three different construction for adverb phrase, and then one construction for coordinate phrase. The study showed that the most common constituent were noun, and which was consistent with previous. The least constituent is possessive noun. This is also supported by previous research that the least constituent is possessive noun. The text has coordinate sentences, so the set of coordinate used was and. The text has deeply structured sentence that can be transformed. Part of the set can generate surface structure using the transfer particle transform or TPRT, and the text also has the text with the deformable surface structure. Sentence parts may contain adverbial phrase, personal pronoun transformations, and then adverbial phrase movement transformation. So our research based on this reference by Putri with title is syntactic analysis on the English translation of Surah Al-Qiyamah using three diagrams theory. So that's all from me. I'll give it back to moderator.
So that's all from our group. And before the presentations ends, we as a group would like to thank you, and we are open for criticism and suggestions for improvement. Hopefully, this material can be useful for all of us. And for the last, we say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Habiskah?